friends, it's the Stitches, and today I'm going to show you how I made this adorable Lolita dress. It's been about 5 years since I made a Lolita dress and about 3 years since I wore one, so this is definitely out of the ordinary for me. I started out with a design that I sketched, and I did deviate it from a little bit, but I tried to stick to it as best as I could. And I tried out several different fabric places, I got a few different swatches, but I couldn't really find anything that I liked, so in the end I actually just bought a bedsheet from Goodwill. I always start with the bodice when I make dresses. I don't really know why, but it's just sort of my instinct. For this bodice, I started with the back panel just because it was the most complicated thing and I wanted to get it out of the way as soon as possible. To make a back shirring panel, you basically just make lots of little elastic channels and then thread the elastic through with a tapestry needle over and over again until you finally run out of channels. After I had my bodice base constructed, I tested out the lace placement just on my dress form. I was just going to have one solid lace panel on the front, but it just didn't really look right. The shoulder straps are made in basically the same way as the back panel. There are some elastic casing and you thread the elastic through it and then it makes the shoulder strap. I then stitched down the lace on the front bodice and stitched down the straps so that it was ready to insert the lining. At this point, I am only ready to stitch down the top of the lining, and the rest will be done when the skirt is attached. The front lacing is done with the aid of a tapestry needle once again. And at this point, we have the bodice pretty much finished and we're ready to move on to the skirt. I was really pleased with how the bodice came out at this point. You may also notice that there's no zipper in this bodice because with the back shirring, I'm actually able to pull this dress on over my head. I don't need any zipper at all. For the skirt, I just start with the side seams, and yes, those are pockets that I'm sewing into it. And next we do the scallops, and you just make some facing and stitch it on and then trim it and then turn it and then top stitch it. And scallops are honestly their own little journey, their own little adventure. They're not fun to create, although they do look cute when they're finished. And I just wanted to get a shot of the sheer width of this skirt because it is a marvel to look at. You can see about where I was starting to have a nervous breakdown. And next we do the pin tucks. Pin tucks are actually pretty easy, although these aren't really pin tucks, they're just tucks, because they're not small enough to be considered pin tucks. But you just iron the fabric, you stitch it, you fold it down, and it's a pin tuck. And it's not very complicated, but it does hide seams really well and it hides the top of lace edging really well. Next we're going to gather the skirt. Even though we're not ready to attach it to the bodice yet, I just want the skirt gathered so that I can best determine where the placement of the lace and the pockets should be on the front. And then we attach the lace and the pockets. It's a little bit difficult to do it once the skirt is gathered, just because the skirt is gathered, but it's much better to do the gathering first before adding details like this, because you don't always know if it's gonna look good after it's gathered. And now we're finally ready to attach the skirt to the bodice. We've finally made it. We're in the home stretch. Everything is downhill after this. To finish the dress, all I have to do is tack the bodice lining to the skirt and then we're done. Finally. This dress honestly took me about a month to make, from design to finished product. There was a lot that went into this, and I'm very pleased with the results. It's not the most beautiful Lolita dress I've ever seen. It's far from the worst, so I'm gonna consider it a victory. And considering I only spent $10 on the materials, I am especially calling it a victory. I just really like how it turned out. It's really cute, it's really princessy. I think it will do well at a Lolita meet, and I am just excited to have it finished. That's it for today's video. I hope you can appreciate my mental breakdown in garment form. I hope everybody has a good day, and I hope everybody sews something that they know that they will enjoy. And I will see you all next time. Bye!